teen delinquencies is food. Food is a very important thing to stabilize people's emotions. And I think one of the most important things is that we should address the food uh, disparity in communities. When kids are, and even parents for that matter, adults, when they get hungry, for one thing, they're not good in school or even meetings for policymakers. Uh, the brain doesn't function as well. There's not thinking, and emotions come up, and then from there, scenes, like, oh, you can't get around it, and problems, the big ugly monsters or whatever you want to. Pandora's box has been opened to problems into the community. I like to see that they have a snack program midway into schools between breakfast and lunch, and a simple snack program, which I could get into another program, how you can get, there's like food waste is like 30 to 40%. I have some ideas in innovative ways that they could prevent that food waste and be used for snack programs between breakfast and lunch. And I'll bet you there's probably a finding that they should do. And also, before kids leave school, they should feed them as well at that time. And I'll bet you it would be kind of interesting for teachers who end up suspending kids. I think they're seeing during this daytime, and also for law enforcement afterwards, that the kids are out in the community. They should ask two simple questions whenever they pick kids up. Are you hungry? When's the last time you've eaten? And I'll bet you there's a correlation there, a big correlation. And I'll bet you the simplest thing to create safer schools and safer communities is a simple thing as a snack. And so it'll be a lot less expensive than jails and all this stuff. And just look at just a simple banana before the kids leave school to get out in the street in the community, or to prevent school suspensions. So that's another issue that needs to be addressed as well. Finances need to be talked about within the family. A lot of aspects of our community, big businesses have been really weakening the family. Banks, they charge such high interest rates for credit cards. No empathy in what the family's situation is. You have these payday loans that lawmakers allow them to charge these huge amount of payments, interest rates. You have lack of job training, innovation, etc. One of the bad things, the worst things about it is the family unit's finances have been harmed by big businesses. I tried to start up a business. I see the now amount of money that these business part to create a business. They charge like 2.5% for each transaction, which of course it weakens the small business, and at the same time it makes it more expensive. Puts the cost onto the community, which weakens the family unit as well for buying things. And so the aspect of it is basically these big businesses that they charge high interest rates on credit cards, very low on savings rate, has been weakening the family. And also these big banks, which they used to be not owned by big banks, which you and regulators could really consider breaking up these banks. If you want to save some of these human trafficking problems, you should look at the family unit's health, and part of its finances. And you guys who regulate finances and breaking up monopolies should look at this aspect of it as well, and how banks do not have small business support to help advise people to get businesses going will not only help improve the community, bring hope to communities as well for people who want to start a business. So you need to look at the banking, also the technology aspect as well, to develop like this everything from job training programs to help families learn how to make more money, learn how to fish. These big technology companies have no incentives. I mean, they're really good at charging people getting people to buy that subscription to YouTube or Apple, channel, or Apple. Oh, you need more data space, but it's very hard to say, wait, where are these charges coming from, or to stop the charges, because they make it real easy to get a subscription, but they make it really hard to, okay, I want to cancel it. Those aspects need to be addressed as well, because that affects the family unit. And as far as the technology for actually learning the how to use it, like Microsoft, they used to be, you could call them up for technical help. There's no incentive for it now, because they're a monopoly, and you guys, regulators, could say, that has to change, so then that way there's competition in the technology field, and maybe we can get more companies to look at how user-friendly these systems are, to help not only for people to develop job training programs, for others to learn how to fish, and that helps strengthen the family unit. But also it busts them up, because then they're, they just don't just steal from the community and weaken the family, and that will create weakening the family, causes more human trafficking, because more teens will run away because of stress with the parents, because of finances. So that needs to be addressed as well. So to end this video, I have many other aspects, but to kind of pull it all together, board members, policymakers, please do not continue on with your meetings and look if your productivity is going down because the meeting lasts for 3 hours, how to solve the human trafficking problem, because people, the brain kind of stops thinking, logically and stuff like that. Number two, try to include people from the outside of your group, policymakers. And to make it even more thinking about is maybe the people who are, the criminal element might have some ideas once in a while. Like I said, this power works through all of us with ideas, not just, anyhow, the thing is people can be from all stripes and can contribute to a solution to any problem, whether it be human trafficking, could be families breaking up, could be the deficit, could be healthcare costs, could be all kinds of stuff. It's not the policymakers or those with a degree. It could be like that teen walking underneath that overpass. Could be anybody in the community having a game-changing idea. So think about reaching out to people of all stripes to solve any kind of problem, such as human trafficking, etc. Look at the mirroring aspect, so people can learn and see how other ways family members can keep marriages together, how they solve conflicts. That could be another part of a show, that they show an effective way for a couple to communicate with each other. And also they could show effective communication between a parent and a child, a teen child, or whatever the situation may be. So those people seeing it through a show. Also look at including the person themselves. A lot of times we like the top-down approach to education. We know the answers, you learn it. A lot of job training programs research will show that if you have to include the student themselves into any situation, you have to have interaction between them. You can't just say, okay, this is how it is, for you to learn it. It's also a two-way street. When you're dealing with the parent or you're dealing with the teen, you have to include that. And it'd be surprisingly, those who are policymakers may learn from them and say, wow, we never thought about that. So that's why educational programs have to be a two-way street. And so from there, this is where I believe the power is working for me to say that I believe in the positive power of two, whether it happens all throughout our communities. Whether it be two married couples or a regular couple, married, lovers, or it could be with a friend or a coworker or parent to child, or child to parent, or citizen to policymakers. This positive power too can be very effective if people will listen to each other, not just a one-way street. And so I think this power is working through me maybe to communicate with you policymakers that there are ideas out there all throughout the communities. It's there. You just have to get out in the community and listen and learn from each other. And I can learn from you, you can learn from me, and hopefully together we can solve, well, this aspect, the human trafficking problem, and then we all win, and that's the end of the story. Thank you. Bye.